One of the simplest things to cook in a wood stove when you're starting is baked potatoes. Those are like convenience food. It's very hard to burn a baked potato to begin with. But in a wood stove, like, my family tries to stay away from a lot of the metals of today. One of the things is aluminum foil. If you don't mind using aluminum foil, you can use that on a baked potato. When I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, I was a product of that era. And my mother used to, she'd wash her potatoes and dry them off, and then she'd spread her margarine all over, and then she'd wrap it in her tin foil and put it in the oven. And the purpose of all that was to keep the skin soft. But so when I came to cooking with a wood stove, and about that time period, we were getting rid of the aluminum foil. I was apprehensive because I'd never cooked a baked potato out of aluminum foil to begin with, and I've certainly never cooked one in a wood stove. I didn't use the microwave. We never had a microwave. Well, we hadn't had a microwave in years. I guess we had a microwave for a short time in the late 80s. But so to cook a good baked potato seemed difficult at the time. So all I did was, again, trial and error. But what I have found is, wash your potato. You don't have to lube it up with, I wouldn't use margarine, I would use butter, but you don't have to lube it up with either. You put it in the oven, and I don't even cover my baked potatoes. After I've washed them, I put them in, I take my knife, and I give it a couple of jabs to help release the hot air inside, and that's it. Then I put it in the oven, and I let it cook until they're done. Now, because the oven varies temperatures depending on the time of year, I don't even, I just check it. I don't time it or anything. But my oven rack, one thing I do know to watch with a wood stove is your oven rack, in my experience, is best on the bottom. The top of the stove near the cooking surface gets the hottest in the oven. And if your rack is too high, you'll burn the top before your food is done. And it doesn't seem to matter what you're cooking. The bottom is the area that less air travels through, and so therefore cooks slower. So if I keep my rack on the bottom and put my food there, it cooks evenly for me without worrying about the top getting done or the bottom getting done too quick. And here is our supper. Wood stove oven baked potatoes and cornbread. It looks like a meal even without meat on the plate.